Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you are tuning in. This is your Mojo Moment, and I am Deborah Kagan. Welcome. This is your mostly daily inspiration, information, a little bit of tips about supporting you in rocking your mojo. And of course, your mojo is your life force. Oh my goodness. Your mojo is your life force, and it is within you right now. You've never lost it, in case you've thought that, but you have always had it. So welcome for those of you tuning in live, and welcome to those of you checking out the replay of this. As I said, this is mostly a daily live sharing with you. And, let me find my words. I do think about, of course, like, what do I want to share with you and what seems relevant and what seems like it would be kind of interesting. So I take inspiration actually from a good friend and colleague, Rachel Resnick, who is just a master of utilizing her life in terms of, in terms of looking at it as analogy and lessons, right? And things and teachable moments. And I think that's really important for anybody, and I know a lot of you out there, you have your own businesses, maybe, your coaches, that you've got your own clients. And I do think it's really important to put on the cap of looking at your life and really seeing not only, what lessons are there for you, but what can you pass on to others? Like, how can you continue to be a beacon of light and spread your mojo? Because that's what I would encourage you to do. And I got to tell you, I have been kind of obsessed. I've been pretty into, I've been pretty into this particular show. I was into this show when it first aired many years ago in its original iteration, and it has been rebooted. It's come out with a new update, a new spin. Well, a new spin, but new cast. And I gotta tell you, I just think it's better than ever. I think it's amazing. I cry at every episode. And the show is Queer Eye. Which one of you has been watching it? Do you know the show I'm talking about? It's a Netflix show now. It's called Queer Eye. And the Fab Five are these wonderful guys who go and they each have their own expertise, and they go and they support someone. They've actually done a pair now on one episode. That's the only spoiler alert that I'll let you know. But they go and they support someone in really opening up and transforming their life. And they happen to be on my other favorite, my other obsession. They happened to be on Stephen Colbert last night, and I just caught up on the episode. And here's the thing, and why I think I am so appreciative of these five guys. And I have my, favorites in the group. And yet, I think one of the things and why people are responding so powerfully to this new iteration of the show, because, originally it was on a decade ago or more, actually. And there was a terrific cast back then, and it was a really cool concept. The original show was Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, so they were doing makeovers on gay guys doing makeovers on straight guys, which was really fun. And now at this updated iteration, it's season 3. So if you haven't caught it, you got plenty of binge material. But if you haven't caught the show, again, it's Queer Eye. I think I really do believe that it has taken this kind of new life of its own, because now more than ever, we are in an era where we are desperate for role models that are fully self-expressed, that are vulnerable, that have the ability to support others, and and to just simply be themselves, right? Which is the definition of course, of just being fully self-expressed. And when when you are around that, it's infectious, it's invigorating, it's intoxicating. And I've, watched these guys, and of course I'm obsessed with it. Like, I downloaded some of the episodes of season 3 and watched it on my recent trip. I thought, this is kind of ridiculous that I'm watching this laying around in Fiji, but it was, it made me happy. And I think that inside all of us is this desire to be so fully ourselves. And when you have the opportunity to see somebody doing that, that's why we love great music. That's why we love great art, because artists are brilliant at being self-expressed. Well, particularly if they're an actor, particularly in, roles that they're playing. Some aren't as great at being self-expressed in life, just as who they are as a person. But anyway, that's a whole other topic. So I think that this show and these guys have inspired like America and beyond by simply being themselves, like so utterly, so fully. And I'm curious to know what you think. Like, are you inspired and lit up when you're around somebody else who is being so incredibly fully self-expressed? Like, what does that do for you, if anything? Does it inspire you? Does it annoy you? Does it make you think, oh, well, I could never be like that? What's your reaction to being around someone that is so fully self-expressed? I know for me, sometimes it can go both ways. Like, I can get super inspired, and other times, depending on the person, depending on the expression, sometimes I get triggered, right? Where it's like that person is just so being themselves, but maybe something about their personality rubs you the wrong way. It's fascinating. And so, I was around somebody like that actually earlier today, and I checked myself. I went, oh, okay, I'm getting a little rubbed the wrong way. And it's frankly just because this person is being so utterly themselves, and something about that was irksome to me in the way that they were expressing themselves. And then I said, oh, all right, well, this person's just simply being themselves, right? And to really look at, what is it in that is, especially when it confronts you. For me, I really got clear. I was like, oh, for me, it was in that moment of, I wasn't feeling that I could be that self-expressed in that moment, right? And so sometimes we get annoyed because it rubs up against what I call our shadow side. And it's important, I think again, why Queer Eye has been just so well received is because we are in an era where, yes, we're here with the Facebook and Instagram and social and all the rest of this, and there are these sort of like made up and manufactured feeds and stories and slick videos and all this kind of thing, and we're hungry for realness. We're hungry for the people who are willing to be vulnerable and just like ovum out. It's my phrase, instead of saying balls out, right? It's like ovum, because I like the ladies, and in terms of supporting the ladies, so it's like ovum out, and hey, here we are, like these are the ABCs of me, baby. And where are you with that? I know for myself, it's a consistently evolving conversation. It's a consistently evolving experience. And frankly, even taking on doing the Mojo Moments and the Facebook Lives has been a part of the dedication to explore creative expression and self-expression and being vulnerable and sharing on a regular basis. So consider, where are you at with that? And what would it be like for you if you could be that much more self-expressed. I actually taught a whole masterclass on this over the weekend. And, you can there's so many different levels of self-expression. Obviously, there's what comes out of your mouth and the way you verbally express yourself and the way you communicate and you share in the world. Clothing, right? The way that you dress and adorn yourself. Your home is another way. So check into your life, right? Really look at, like, are you being you? Fully, deeply, unabashedly you, right? Are we just so, or are you attempting to put on some kind of an air or put on some kind of a part of your personality that you think you should be projecting? Or are you dressing a certain way because you think you should dress a certain way? Like, fuck it. Just be you. Like, wear stilettos to the breakfast meeting. Why not? Wear stilettos to go grocery shopping. I don't know. I mean, I'm just telling you, that's kind of the things I like to do because that's the way that I feel expressed. And I enjoy it and it feels good to me. If you ain't a stiletto gal, don't worry about it, right? Like, what is the purest form of self-expression for you? And that's really what's key. So I encourage you, like, find a way to pour one more ounce, just like for the rest of this week, one more ounce of you into your life. That might be, getting something for your home that you thought, I really love this, but I don't know, it kind of felt weird to bring it into my house, except it's something you really love. Maybe you do that. Maybe for, maybe for my gals out there, or frankly, my guys, hey, whatever floats your boat. But maybe it's wearing a really bold color lipstick. Maybe that's what it is. But yes, full-blown self-expression. And by the way, that's not something that you wake up with in terms of, like, just one day, boom, it's there. I really do believe that, like, that it's a process. And the more that you allow yourself to do it, the easier it's going to get. Because what you realize is when you are fully you, like, yeah, not everybody's going to love it. I mean, good Lord, I have, I could write a very, very thick, long novel about, the comments I've had over the years of people offended by who I was being. Too much, to this, to that, to whatever. But it was really interesting? While I was being me, there was still that nervousness, right? There wasn't the claiming of it. And, so it takes practice to express yourself. And more importantly, it's going to take you cultivating yourself and getting into a place where you are deeply comfortable with being who you are. And I think, yeah, sure, that happens with, as time goes by, you hear, people who get on in their years, they're just like, look, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about me anymore, because it's just, like, what's the point? I spent too many years worrying about it. And there's truth to that. There really is. So this is your moment inspired, like being inspired by Queer Eye is being passed on to you, in terms of inviting you to, play full out by beginning with more self-expression on a daily basis. And that looks different for everybody. All right. So I'm glad that you are tuning in, and you are, and those of you who are playing full out, and that you do challenge yourself. That's fantastic. And yeah, and I encourage, all and more of you to do that. And that, by the way, is one of the things that we really get into at my live event, the Rock Your Mojo Women's Weekend. And that's coming up this weekend. So as of this live video, yeah, it's happening in a couple days. And we have a few seats left. So if you are somebody who is going, you know what, I could use some more self-expression. Because what's so important about that is, again, it inspires people around you, but it frees you up to be more effective personally and professionally, right? So if that's interesting to you, get your sweet tush on over to rockyourmojowomen'sweekend.com and come join the party. It's going to be quite a great weekend. All right, everybody, that is your Mojo Moment for the day. Thank you so much for tuning in, whether, again, you are here live or catching this on a replay. And if something here was, really kind of hit you in the gut and hit home and you think, oh my gosh, I know somebody that needs to hear this, go ahead and tag them in a comment below, or you can share it to your own page, walls, channels, wherever it is that you are sharing to. And that is that. I will see you later, mañana, and enjoy it all. Enjoy everything. All right, everybody, sending you much love. Bye.